Hi guys, today I just want to share with you a dungeon crawler. It's very similar to Binding of Isaac, and I made it for my degree, and it's a vertical slice of the final game. So I will play the game for a little bit, and then I'll discuss the implementation after. So on the right hand side there, you have to collect 3 keys to get into the dungeon room. That's what this panel's for. These are the lives. This is the bombs that you can drop, and the coins which you can spend in the shops. So, oh, that was a special bomb. Fired rockets. So there is pathfinding. And this ball you fire is how you evade enemies. You right click and you can right click again and you'll arrive at that position. So at the moment there really aren't that many enemies, and it's quite monotonous in a way because the amount of content is so low because it's just a vertical slice. But once you have, you know, like maybe 50 enemies, maybe like 50 or so rooms, it becomes a lot more interesting, especially if I were to implement theme, like enemy themes in the rooms. So there's no like room theme for the types of enemies that could occur. So it's kind of like noise in a way, you know, at the moment. So, yeah, so I don't know if I'll get to the boss room. I should just finish the level off. But you know what? It's just a boss, and there isn't really much past that point. So, I'll just show you how the rooms are created. Room creator. So this is the scene where I create all of the different types of rooms. Oh yeah, this is Unity, by the way. It's all done in Unity, and the game engine. So if I just find a room which I want to change, let's say I want to add an item spawner to this room here. What I'll do is I'll go Tools, Room Editor, and I have this coded. I coded this system myself. It's a tile system for the rooms, so I can edit the rooms using a tile system. So if I grab a tile, the item, if I find it, wait. Here we go. So I can paint at a at a depth. Oh, I don't want to do that. I just painted at the floor depth, so it took off the floor. I should have painted at 1. There we go. So I'm putting 2 in here, and now I got to put the floor back. Floor tiles. Alright, there we go. And then what I do is I can generate prefabs from the room, or I can prefab all the rooms in the scene. And so what this does is it converts all of the rooms into, if I show you here, all of the different prefabs it will generate automatically when I press either of these buttons. And one of the reasons why I wanted to automate it is because there's a tree structure to the actual rooms, so that you can have branching types of rooms, so you don't have to repeat certain things in the rooms. So if there's like an item spawner in the same position, and there are different permutations of the room. The item spawner can be in the same place if it's in the root node. So yeah, so it makes it a lot faster to have like this tree permutation system. I can try and find an example. So this is an example of the is this it? Yeah, so you have two different versions and they're both leaves. So where is this? So it's this one. So you can have a version that is the enemy variation and not. So you can have two different versions. So yeah, so this is how you make the rooms, and they'll automatically rotate 90-degree turns to align with how it's created. So the algorithm, when it's creating the scene, I'll just sorry about this. If I just start the game, I can show you a little bit better. So the generation and the way it works is it will start on this room, and then it will create another room, and then it will create another one, and another from these door nodes here. And if it doesn't have a door node like this one, then it won't be able to create a room in that position. And the way these optional cross rooms work is it disables them if there isn't a connection. So yeah, it's a very simple generation algorithm. It just creates a room. Sometimes on the doors they're non-optional, so you have to build from a door, and if it doesn't happen then it's not a valid room. And so if it isn't a valid room, it will just destroy the room and then try and replace it with a different one. And then after, it tries to find a door that's really far away from the start so that it can place the boss room. So there's 17, I think there's 17 smaller tiles. So each one of these is a room tile, a whole room tile, and these are the individual tiles. So there's a grid inside of a grid, or rather one more granulated grid placed on top of a less granulated grid. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The item spawning system, if I just go to the room editor, I can show you the way the enemy spawning system works. Now of course there aren't themes, which is what it really needs. Each room needs a theme really, but this is just a vertical slice and there aren't enough enemies to show the themes well enough. But there are tags that you can put on the spawners, so you can have a must-have tags and must-not-have tags, which comes in really useful for like water rooms, where you say, if I show you here, you don't want an enemy that can move, you want an enemy that's fixed. So if I click on this, you can see that it's ranged and it's fixed position, so it stays there. So it's really important to have filtering by enemy, and the same thing can happen with items as well, but that's not implemented yet. And you can have rooms of different sizes. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's the algorithm itself isn't really used that often because it doesn't produce the best looking dungeons, but what it does allow you to do is it allows you to have different rotations on the rooms. which I don't think Binding of Isaac allows you to. I think it's 180-degree rotations in Binding of Isaac. But yeah, okay, so thanks guys, thanks for watching.